Hello, YouTubers. How are you? It's Melissa. It's a beautiful day. And I wanted to come on here today because I hope that my title's saved. And it is talking about what's coming down the pike for me on my YouTube page that want to know this information. And so in the title, I put, are you somebody who wants to walk on fire? Or have you ever thought about walking on fire? And years ago, when I decided to do this, and I've done several podcasts and several interviews about this, but years ago, when I woke up one morning in January and I heard the download, the intuition, spirit say to me, "Hey, Melissa, it's time to go firewalking." I thought to myself, "Okay, it's time. This has been brewing in my head for a while. I need to go firewalking because it's something that my heart, my soul calls me to do." And so 3 weeks later, I literally was in my car driving to a fire walking 4-day workshop, a training with the Fire and Institute of Research and Education. And it was in Dallas, Texas. It's no longer there, it's now in Delaware. But I never dreamed that walking on fire would be something that would transform my life, change my life, make me someone I never dreamed. And the main reason I went, you all, was because I wanted to let go of my ego. I wanted my ego. I wanted all fear to go away. I was tired of being afraid of things in my life that weren't working for me or that kept me small and that were actually suppressing my voice and making me not jump into my gifts that I needed to serve in the world with. And so, needless to say, I got in my car and I drove to this workshop, not knowing a soul. And I joke because I say to people all the time, I asked everybody if I knew if they wanted to come with me because I thought if I could get somebody to go with me, then it would be so much fun. But everybody said no. And the reason that I knew this was something I was meant to do was because everything aligned for me to get to this place. Now, I am a single mom. I have 3 children and I've been divorced a while. And at this time, this was 8 years ago, I'd been divorced for several years. And so I was thinking to myself, okay, the first few days I've got my children covered with staying with their father. But then I needed to ask my best friend to come to town and pick my children up and drive them to all their sporting events. And all of that worked out. And then once I got there, I was in my hotel. And then the next morning, I woke up for my first day at Firewalk School. I had no idea what to expect. All I know is that opening up, they start sequencing you to do more and more challenging things to get ready to walk on the fire. And so the first day before we actually walked, we did some NLP. And if you don't know what NLP is, it's neuro linguistic programming, where they're really trying to get your subconscious mind ready to do this very dangerous exercise. And so when I got up to the fire and I was going to post a picture about myself, so you could see me before I walked on the fire that night standing in front of the fire, because the firewalking picture I have, I don't really like it so much because my face looks like I'm really in an intense grimace. And that's really not the feeling that I want you all to see or that I want to portray but that's where I was at that time. And now when I walk on the fire, I'm more like open and I'm just excited to do it because I've done it so many times now. But once I did it that first night, I was so euphoric. But this guy came up to me afterwards and he's like, "Congratulations, Melissa. You walked on fire. Now wait till Saturday when you have to walk on the fire 108 times." And I looked at him with eyes wide, and freaking out. And I said, "Excuse me, what did you just say to me? I have to walk on the fire 108 times?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "That wasn't on the website. I did not see that." But of course, they don't tell you that because they want the anticipation and some of that anxiety to be with you so that you get to that space where you're really in a state of kind of like apprehension and it's something that's potentially dangerous, but that you are then pushing yourself to do something with your extreme spirituality. And you're going to step onto that fire. And when you do that, it transforms your life. It helps you ignite things within you that you never dreamed were possible. And it also helps you to see that you're this unlimited being. And why do we keep ourselves small? Why don't we use our voices more and free our voices and allow our voices to be heard? Why don't we chase our dreams and our visions? And Why don't we do those things that are scary in our life? Why don't we do them? We stay stagnant and stuck and we sit in our fear our whole life. I just did a video about this and it was about regrets. Do you have any regrets in life? What is it that you want to do that you haven't done? And I'm only in my midlife right now. I'm only in my midlife that I do everything that I can do before I leave this earth existence because I don't want to have any regrets. And I recently talked to my 96-year-old friend and she has a regret. Now, she has a regret and it wasn't because she hasn't done something, it was because she didn't do something years ago. But she's never rectified that. She's never tried to change it, and she's never forgiven herself. And so she carries that negative energy and that heavy burden, like that backpack of rocks that is weighing her down, you all. And I don't want to live like that. That is not the Melissa Mojo. Melissa is a type of person who wants to fully live. And I've worked with a subconscious mind coach on and off for like 12 years. And he talks about truly living. And when you walk on 1400-degree coals, you are truly living. And so I'm doing this video today because I'm going to be hosting a firewalk for women in May. And I want people to know about it because I know there's people out there who want to either come and participate or come and see this, witness it, be there to understand that this is possible. Even if you're somebody that says, I could never do that, but you can witness and see other people and you can hold space for other people. Because when I went with strangers. I didn't know anybody, but I showed up. I showed up for me first and foremost. I showed up for me. And I did this because, like I said, I wanted to release my ego and I wanted to step into bigger things in my life. But I wanted to make sure that I was living wholeheartedly from my authentic self, from my authentic, genuine heart. And that's why I did it. And everybody else was there really to achieve a goal or something like that. But I just wanted to release my ego because I was in a very high spiritual place. And I still am. I've been evolving for about 16 years. But I wanted to be in a space where I wasn't afraid of anything. And I did get afraid on the third day when I like got fire kisses on my feet. I did get very, very afraid. And what did I do in that moment? I reached out to my friends and family and I asked them to support me, to send good energy. I reached out to some of the goddesses, the very powerhouse goddesses like Sekhmet and Kali. And I said, please, please, please help me to get through my 108 because I did not want to go home without a certificate of achievement. And my certificate is right here behind me on my wall. You can see it. Actually, it's on this side over here, right here. Here's my certificate. I don't know. This is backwards, so I'm not having a easy time doing that. But I did do it and I made it through the 108. Actually, I made it to a lap 107. And there's more to this story. And you could go watch one of my other videos. I actually, I don't know, maybe there isn't one on here about firewalking. But I got to the 107 and they laid the coals to be 20 feet. So 1400-degree coals, 20 feet long. And you walk the coals and then you walk into the arms of the fire master. And I just broke down and sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. But I don't even think my feet touched the fire, you all. I think I levitated that last on the 108. I think I just levitated because by then my adrenaline was so high and my energy was so high that I was unstoppable. And somebody during this event, actually, a man, he tried to take my energy. He actually, I should say this, he borrowed my energy. And he was already a firewalk instructor, but I guess he was afraid. And so he pulled me aside mid laps and he said, Melissa, it looks like you're faltering. I think you need to pray with me. And I said, I didn't think I was faltering, but I was like, okay, I'll pray with you. That's fine. Let's pray together. We held hands and he said some prayers. And then I noticed later on that he was walking on the side of the coals and I was walking straight down the middle in the hottest part of the coals. And this is what it did for me, you all. This is the way that our true, authentic, genuine, pioneering leadership, this is the way it's born. When we step into something extremely scary and difficult and we overcome it and we celebrate ourselves. Because man, oh man, did I celebrate myself. I celebrated myself that night. Other people celebrated with me, and we will be doing that at our fire walk. We will celebrate by, dancing, cheering, and hugging and all that stuff. But it's such an amazing, amazing thing when you do it. And I think it's becoming more and more popular. And I know there's a big speaker out there who kind of started making it popular. And my event is not going to be like that event. My event is going to be more led from the divine feminine, but it's definitely going to be a very amazing, spiritual, life changing, transformative event. It's going to ignite